Good afternoon, everyone. How are you doing? Welcome to another time here. Welcome to another time at the book club. So glad to have you here. Uh, yeah, so glad to have you here. But this is what we're gonna do every Sunday afternoon at 2 p.m. 2 p.m. West African time. So thanks for coming. Uh, We've been studying a book, The Gold Mine Effect, by Rasmus Ankersen. That's what we've been doing since the beginning of the year. And I never knew it was going to take us this long. We're in the 8 months doing it, but I've enjoyed every bit of it. And I think if you had followed through, you would have enjoyed the same thing. And we have everything, the 8 months worth or 7 months, we're in the 8th month now, worth of doing this. Everything is on YouTube. It's on my blogging site. If you care to go through it. But today we finished the book last time we met 2 weeks ago, and today we're going to start a summary of the 8th chapter, what we've learned in the last 7 months. We'll try and do a quick summary of it before we go on to our next book, which is going to be the confidence game. The confidence game. We're going to learn the psychology of the psychology of scamming, how to scam people. We're gonna learn the psychology, with the intent of being able to use it for good and also to be wiser that we don't get scammed. So that's what we're gonna be doing when we're done with the summary here, in wrapping up our book, The Gold Mine Effect by Rasmus Ankersen, the secrets to cracking, or how to crack or crack the secrets of high performance. That's what we've been doing. Uh, so welcome. Let me bring up my slide like I typically do, and we're going to start taking it beat by beat and try to see how many chapters we can capture today. Like I do all the time. We're not going to be in a hurry. We're going to take the time it takes to go through the 8th chapter. I figure it might take maximum of 4 Sundays. It might take only 2 days. It might take two. It might take three. It all depends on the flow, but we're going to do whatever it takes, to soak it all in. So come along with me as I do this. I'm going to bring up here my slide. I see I don't have it up already. So permit me to do that, to bring it up. I'm going to need my glasses. Oh. All right. For those of you on YouTube, on my blogging site and later on Facebook, you would be seeing the slides. Instagram Live, we don't get to see it, but we make the best of it, of not seeing it and lose nothing in the summary of it all. So yeah, pretty much all right, that was in the beginning. So the book pretty much uncovers principles to drive extraordinary achievement. That's what the book is all about. And we had Rasmus went to visit 8 centers, which we call 8 gold mines for high performance, places that are known for high performance in different areas of sports. He went to Brazil for soccer. He went to Ethiopia and Kenya for athletics. He went to South Korea for golf. He went to Russia for lawn tennis, and these different places to see what makes this place this so different. How come they have more people that get medals that get to the notoriety in those fields? So the book is pretty much a summary of what he gleaned from all of these places, in a way that we can apply it in our own specific area of life. Even though they've applied it to gain notoriety in an area of sports, we can use it in the sport of life, because life itself is a game, it's a sport. Whatever we can use in these places, we can also adapt it into any area of life that we find ourselves, whether it be in our career, in our calling, in our parenting, in our marriage, every area of life, because life itself is business, right? So we can use this to get to the epitome, right, of efficiency, of performance in that area of life that we find ourselves, you know. So that's what we pretty much uncovered going through the book, the key principles that drive extraordinary achievement, right? And these include having a competitive environment. You know, if there's no driver to have to for high performance, then you won't get to the epitome. If everybody around you, or there's no medal, there's nothing to be gained by performing at a higher level, there's been no push to perform at a higher level. So you need the competitive environment, to be able to get the best out of yourself. You need a strong community also, because you need a supportive community, that will be able to do or feed for you, the things you cannot do for yourself, because we none of us is an island. We need a community, to encourage us, build us, help us in those things we can't do by ourselves. you know so you need a strong community. You need the right culture also, that supports high performance, and you need the ability to handle pressure, right? Coal turns into gold, diamond under high pressure. If you're going to perform at a high level, then there's going to be pressure. There's going to be pressure, so you have to be someone that doesn't give up under pressure, but someone that bubbles up under pressure, someone that is able to persist, till the what you are aiming for gets achieved. You're not someone that settles for little, but someone that holds on, to get that which you have set as a goal for yourself, that which you are building, that which is your place called there, right? Uh, so talent is not just a result of luck. Well, talent is not a result of luck. You gain it, by pretty much, uh, it could be a latent ability. It could be also that which you train for, So, but it's not luck. It doesn't just you don't just get it by luck. You get it by being in the right place at the right time, doing the right thing, right? No, no, talent is not genetics also, but a product of the right environment and culture. You build it, right? So you're not going to be talented by luck, not by genetics. You have to sow the right seeds to get the right result, right? And throughout the book, I've been giving examples of comparing two soccer players, Nani and Ronaldo. They both could be said to have had the same initial talent, to some degree. But one rose to notoriety, the other one did not. And the difference purely is the extra that the one put into it that the other one did not put into it. One put in the average, one put in the extra, and the result is clear, right? So the book, we say, contains 8 chapters, right? Chapter 1, we talked about a secret is not a secret. It's pretty much obvious. My mentor, Jim Rohn, would say, it'd be nice if we all can go to the school called Obvious One, Obvious Two. It's just common sense. Everything that we talked about here in the book is common sense. But, common sense is that which is not common to all, right? We all tend to commonize common sense. Therefore, we miss the value. The creator seemed to put his gems in little packages, but we overlook those little packages, looking for something big. Therefore, we miss the real event of life, right? But the secret is not a secret, it's something that we know. It's common sense. We just need to remind ourselves about it. Chapter 2, we go on to talk about what you see is not what you get, right? There's more to what you see. You have to ask questions. You have to dig in, to get the real thing there. It's just like any mineral, right? You dig below, right? The what is on surface might not look like what is on below the ground, right? But you have to then ask questions, evaluate, investigate, to get what is below the treasure that is there, right? Uh, Not all that glitters is gold, right? Not all that does not glitter is gold, right? Don't be deterred by the first appearance. Well, what you are not seeing might be telling you about what is there, right? But sometimes it takes having the right eye to see it, right? What the beauty that's in the future might not be apparent in the present, right? A lot of people have missed spouses because they couldn't see the future in the present, right? The right eye is one who's able to see beyond the now into the future, not just being deterred by the present, but looks at what is not there right now, but is there because of the promise of a future. It has the tidings, right, of greatness, even though that greatness is not apparent at this point in time, right? So chapter 3, we go on and talk about start early or die soon. There are some things that require time. We read about the fact that there are some things that you gain the expertise, after putting in about on the average 10,000 hours, right? So for you to quickly get to those 10,000 hours before you are too old, to build on what you gain, the earlier you start, the better. There are also some flexibilities that you lose as you grow older. So the earlier we start, the better. It's the same thing we talk about compound interest, right? That compounding effect, is greater the earlier you start. Even if you add more later on, you might not be able to catch up with someone that is adding small over time and started early, right? And that's what we get to tell ourselves even when it comes to exercise. We'll say consistency is more important than intensity. It's not waiting till you are 60 before you start exercising and you want to then do it in heavy loads. No, it's the consistency and starting early that will carry the day, right? Today I have to do a lot different projects at this very point in time. And the ease with which I'm able to do it is because I have been disciplined along some principles years back. So those principles are being called upon now in the time of visitation. If I didn't do those principles when I didn't need them, I won't be in a comfortable, seeming comfortable uh place today to do the things I need to do today, right? So you build because the storm is coming, right? That's what Jesus says, right? He says that the person who builds, a house that the storm will not be able to carry away is because of the foundation you built upon. And that foundation you built before the storm. And for that foundation to be solid, it means that you started early and took your time to do it right. The other man started late and just rushes it, doesn't care about the foundation, is only caring about the beauty that everybody sees, but is building it on sand. The day of testing will come. That testing will not test the beauty that everybody sees. It will test the things that people don't see, the foundation, the root, right? So have root, have foundation. Start early. Whatever it is that you are supposed to do in your life, start early. Start today. Don't wait till tomorrow. It's not how big you start that's important. Is that you start. Is that you start. Your life is your life. It's a building. It's a building. wherever it is that you want to be on your dying bed. It's a building. It's not just going to fall from the sky. It's not just going to happen. It's not going to be luck. Whatever it is that you want to, the legacy you want to leave when you exit this life, the time to start is now. Actually, the time to start was 20 years ago. The second next time is now. You missed the boss yesterday. Don't miss it today. Don't miss it right now. Now is the time. Now is the time. Whatsoever it is that you have been holding back, now is the time. 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 You don't know what's coming holding for you tomorrow. Start today. Start today. Begin to build your house. Begin to build your foundation so that your house can stand. Start today. Start now. Build. Right? So talks about that we're all quitters. I've forgotten exactly what we did there when we talked about we're all quitters, but we'll go over it again and learn what it means by that. Uh, all right, my memory is out on that, but we'll find it out when we go over it. But chapter 4, look out for it, talks about we're all quitters. Yeah, chapter 5 talks about success is about mindset, not facilities, right? It's the mindset. It's the mindset. Success is about the things you don't see, not the things you see. It's the mindset. It's the mindset. Success is the mindset. It's not where you come from. It's not who your parents are. It's your mindset. It's what are you saying? What are you saying? What are you saying? What is calling you? 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 It's not the facility, it's not the name, it's not the area. It's what's your mindset? Do you believe you can make it? Do you see that place called there, calling you, drawing you to itself? Are you willing to show up? Are you willing to do what it takes to get there? Right? And 6 talks about the Godfathers, preaching about the people that run those different high performance places, their thought pattern, their principles, what worked for them. As what we discussed in chapter 6. Chapter 7 is talking about kids and parents. We learn more parenting there and how parenting affects high performance. In chapter 5 gave us the opportunity to read the book Mindset by Dr. Dweck, and chapter 7 here gave us the opportunity to read two books, the Hymn of a Tiger, of a Tiger Mother, and the other one was Mates about high performance, So we read two books additional to help us in chapter 7, how to raise children, how to they need the involvement of the parents and the difference that makes, to the success of children. And in chapter 8, which we just finished, we talked about who wants it most. It's the hunger. It's the hunger. It's not the size of a dog in the fight. It's the size of the fight in the dog. That is what determines the dog that wins. It's not the size of a dog. It's the size of the fight in the dog. How much do you want it? That's what's going to determine whether you get it or not, right? So let's go on. Uh, so chapter 1. So we came into chapter 1, and we said that there's no gene for talent or high performance. There's no specific genetics. Even though these people performed high in those places, there was nothing about their genes that differentiated them to perform there. It was the principles. It was the principles they abided by. It was the practice. It was the devotion. It was the mindset that made the difference. It wasn't that they had any special gene. There's no any special gene in Brazil for playing soccer. There's no special gene in Russia for playing lawn tennis. There's no special gene in South Korea for playing golf. There's no special gene in Kenya or Ethiopia for running. It's all about the principles, right? The practice, right? The system, the strategies, right? The imbibed. So we too can take those and apply it any other place, any other area, of our lives, and it will work because there's no special gene. It's just a principle, strategy, uh, that will take, that works, right? So talent exists, but it exists everywhere, not just in just a few places, right? Success often lies in acknowledging that we have natural strengths and abilities that make us better equipped to excel at some things than others. So as much as we say there's no special gene, there are things that we're good for and the things we're not good for based on who we are, uh, our strengths and weaknesses. We all have strengths and weaknesses, right? And you're not going to judge a fish on running. Now, will you judge a monkey on swimming, right? That's not what they're created for. A fish is created to swim, so you can judge it on swimming, not on running. It has no legs. The monkey is created to jump from tree to tree, not to be swimming, right? So the reality, and which is what we do each time, right, for organizations, and we should do for our own selves also, is doing what we call a SWOT analysis. What are my strengths? What are my weaknesses? What are my opportunities? What are my threats? How do I harness my strengths? How do I optimize, harness, and exploit my strengths to tap into all the opportunities that are available for me? Use my strength to tap and fully exploit the opportunities that are available for me. And while I'm doing that, I'm cautious about weaknesses and not allow my weaknesses to grab me from behind. That don't allow me to fall, not allow me to miss it, and have some defense against the threats that avail themselves in the environment, right? If you have to do that, you have to be realistic with yourself. You don't go and run another person's race because you only be second fiddle, third fiddle, fourth fiddle, but you never be first fiddle running another person's race or running another person's lane. You have to know what is meant for you, what you can do and do well. What you can do and do well. James C. Collins put in his book, talking about well, I forgot the name he put it, but he just talks about how to decide what to do. Talks about is it 4 circles or so? But he talks about the things that you can do better than other people, and the thing that also you can make money in, right? So you need to decide that, right? What is it that I can do and excel? I can do at the top tier, right? I can do at the top tier that I can do and do well, not be lost in the crowd, right? And does it make me money? Does it put food on my table? Or do I have other things that put food on my table and I do this for fun, for enjoyment? Why am I doing it? And is it worth it for me? Does it make me happy? Does it make me fulfilled? Does it make me actualize? You need to ask yourself those questions. Otherwise, you'll be wasting your time. You're wasting your life, right? If it doesn't feel you, right? So that's important. So success often lies in acknowledging. You need to acknowledge your strengths, your weaknesses, the opportunities that are built for you, and the threats that are built, right? And make the best of your strengths to exploit your opportunities while defending yourself against your weaknesses and the threats, right? So everybody is a genius, but if you judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree, it will live its whole life believing that it is stupid, right? Because you're judging it on the wrong metrics, on the wrong characteristics, on the wrong lane, in the wrong field, right? It's important that you need to know who you are and be brutally honest to yourself about it, right? So innate talent is not the decisive force, but it is the entry ticket to the game, right? You do the thing you have an innate talent for, something you can develop, right? You need to go in with something that you can develop. You have to bring something to the game. You have to bring something to the field, right? Don't go to anything empty, right? You need to, whatever you go into, you need to bring something to the field, something you can use to that you can develop. You can use to develop yourself, right? I went into farming here in 2021, never farmed before. But guess what? I had the money. With money, I could get people to do it for me. I had the commercial business sense, right? I was already teaching systems and how companies run, right? So even though I knew nothing about farming, I had the funds to get people, employ people that will learn to do it, had the funds to get the land, and I knew how to set up businesses. I knew how to walk through people, and I could learn along with them. Also, farming was something that was learnable for me, right? And I had the time to do it, right? It wasn't the main thing putting food on my table. It was something I was building by the side, right? So I could do it, right? So you need to be brutally honest with yourself. Don't do things because everybody's doing it. Why are you doing it? Are you able to do it? How does it affect the other things that in your life, right? A person can perform only from strength. One cannot build performance on weakness, let alone on something one cannot do at all. So says the management guru, Peter Drucker, right? That's why we do the SWOT analysis. Find your strength, find your strength, find your strength, and use your strength. You can build excellence on your weakness. Build your strength, right? Find people that whose strengths are your weakness, employ them or partner with them, right? Don't waste your time and don't use your weakness to try and build a business. Find someone whose strength is your weakness and either partner with that person or employ that person. In essence, buy that person's time, right? So, building excellence on strength involves focusing on your strengths and using them to achieve the success, right? You're not focusing on your weaknesses. You focus on your strength, right? And use it to exploit the opportunities. But you must never forget your weaknesses, right? Don't expose yourself to a place where your weaknesses can make you fall flat. You have to always defend yourself against those. Don't go to places that don't have the strength to cover you, right? So 99% of the resources you need to succeed are already in your building. Everything that you need to succeed, you already have, right? It's just a matter of tapping into it. It's just a matter of awakening it. And it starts by you doing the first step with what is already in your hands. As you do what is in your hands, the other things that you need will come, will wake up to tie in with you. All they are doing is waiting for you to use what you already have, right? And everything else that you need will meet you along the way. All right. And we're leaving it. Like we started a business here, started a family in 2021. Today we're doing 1,001 other things, just because we started doing that. Right. We're involved in a lot of other things, you know. So just take the first step with what's already in your hands, and every other thing will join along with you, right? So if you believe you are limited, you'll probably never invest what it takes to become good. You must believe in yourself. You must believe that you're possible. You must believe that what you're looking for is looking for you. What you're looking for is not running away from you, it's looking for you also. What you're looking for is looking for you also, right? So look for it because both of you will meet somewhere. And everything that you need to achieve that which both of you are working towards, will be supplied. It's also looking for you. And it will meet you and fund everything that you need to do, right? But you have to believe it. You have to trust it. You have to trust the hands of providence. The right hands of providence will make it possible. Your job is to align yourself, be aligned with the right principles, be aligned with the laws of life, be aligned with truth, and providence will meet you. Providence will meet you. Providence will meet you. Providence will meet you. Providence will come true for you, right? If you don't believe in yourself, nobody else will. Believe doesn't cost you anything. Doesn't cost you anything to believe in yourself. It just means that you wake yourself up to do all that you ought to do, all that you can do, and a little bit more. And as you do that, you trust that that which you're doing is a seed, and that seed will call forth a harvest. That seed will call forth a harvest. Every good work done, from a faithful heart, not done out of fear, but done in trust and faith and belief, will be rewarded. The harvest will come. The harvest will come. The harvest will come. Sooner or later, the harvest will come. None of your work, your good work, not the one done out of fear, not the one done out of anxiety, not the one done out of worry, but the work that is done out of a heart of faith and trust and belief and love will be rewarded. The harvest will come. The harvest will come. The harvest will come. It might seem delayed, but the harvest will come. And you'll be surprised. It will carry you, will lift you, right? It will bring you before kings. It will bring you before queens. And the last slide here for chapter 1 is talent is everywhere. Don't overrate the importance of inborn talent, right? It is important. The things you're born with, your nature, your size, your height, your weight, those things can either determine the area you can best succeed at or not. If someone is very tall, he has the inborn possibility or ability or size or stature or dexterity to play basketball. So even if that person doesn't know how to play basketball, that person can be taught, right? And if that person breaks through being taught, can excel in basketball because the person has the right dexterity for it, right? So don't despise what you already have. See what you can use it for, right? To excel in life, right? Talent is not something, and if you don't have a particular dexterity, all hope is not lost. The beautiful ones are not yet born. There's something that your own dexterity is suited for. Find it. Find it. Don't struggle with a square peg in a round hole. Don't force it. Find where the square holes are and put your square peg inside of it, right? So talent is not something static. It is what you administer and put into action. That is what constitutes true talent. As you use whatever it is that you have, you build more, you build more, you build more. You become better at it. You gain fluency, right? You gain fluency. Whatever it is talent that you have, you gain fluency, and thereby you increase your efficacy in that particular area, right? So your job is to believe that nothing is impossible and to act as if inborn talent doesn't play a role at all, right? Stop crying and wishing. Start dealing with what you've got. Deal with what you've got, not what you don't have. Deal with what you've got. Make the best of what you have, right? Whatever it is that you have is enough. And when you use it, you activate everything else that comes along with it to take you to the throne, to take you to the palace. But you have to start and start with what is in your hands, not what is not in your hands. Right? That's important. That's how we went through chapter 1. It's not a secret. In chapter 2, we'll talk about what you see is not what you get. There's more to it, right? And we said to have true performance, you must have a vision for it. If you don't have a vision for what you're looking for, there's nothing calling you. And again, it's what we say, right? If there's no goalpost, you don't know when you score. You must have a goalpost. What am I aiming for? Where am I going? Who do I want to be? What do I want to look like? What do I want to have? Right? That must call you every day, every second of your life. You must know what you are building. Don't let the punches be wasted. Don't let the exertion be a waste. Let everything contribute to the life you are building. That person you want to be when you are on your dying bed, when you're about to exit, the legacy you want to leave behind, the things you want to have done. That is the life you are supposed to be building. what every day should be a contribution to getting there. You don't dissipate energy. Don't punch mere hair. Punch things that take you home, home. The legacy you want to build, the person you want to be, the accomplishment you want to have, the lives you want to have affected and affected, right? Those are the things that should drive you. You must have a vision for them and believe around that vision. That is where you get the confidence for life. That's when you live a life, a life that is from above, a life that is fulfilled, a life that is fulfilling, right? So you must have a vision and you must believe it is possible, right? You must have a hunger for it and you must have a potential for it, right? You must have a potential for it. And if you don't have a potential, you must be able to hire people that do, and you then must be able to manage them, right? You, you must have a structured practice for it also, right? Whatever you have, you must have a way of building it, getting it better, sharpening it, building fluency in it, right? Is that enough to have to be a soccer star? You have to keep the heart flowing, become better, learn new ways, learn new tricks, and become better, fluent at those things. All right, that's critical. So, um, there are no natural heart surgeons, just as there are no natural anything, right? Everything needs to be learned. Everything you need a teacher, you need a master to teach you in the area that you are in. We came into farming, like we said, we knew nothing. We were cropping the locals breeds and we're making no money. We crop and we go sell, we go sell at giveaway prices in the local market, right? Until we discovered that we needed to be selling beyond the local market. We needed to go sell where the money is, find the product also that those people need and want, and bring that product to the market to get the reward for our labor. Otherwise, we're walking like elephant and eating like ants or rats, right? So there are no natural anything, but you have to learn. Any trade that you come into, you need to find the masters in that trade and learn. It's not always visible what they do or how they do it. But if you find yourself there, you need to get yourself, under the tutelage of a master in that field, those that have done it successfully, profitably before you got there, and be willing to listen and learn from them, right? So everything comes by focus and practice, right? So the more you do, the better you are at what you do, right? So practice makes permanence and improvement. Practice gives you an entrance and a foot, a ground in whatever it is that you're practicing, right? It gives you a place, there. And no one is going to invite you to the table of high performance. No one's going to invite you. Everybody wants to have everything to themselves. You lay hold of it by practice and sacrifice. The more you practice, the more you get fluent at it. Practice, you get fluent at it. Practice, you get fluent at it. And automatically the table will make space for you, right? They don't give it because it's your name, because you asked for it. They give you a place at the table by becoming someone worthy of the table. And you become someone worthy of the table by exercising yourself, building yourself up, right? That's important. So no one is going to invite you to the table. High performance, the table of high performance, you lay hold of it by practice and sacrifice, right? So the gap between good and great turns out to be huge. There's a gap between just being good at something and being great at that thing. And it's a big difference, right? It's a big difference between just being good and to be great. Good is often the enemy of the great, right? Because you're good at something, then you say, I'm enough, oh, I'm okay. I'm okay. You will not differentiate yourself. You will not bubble up and you will not then make the money. You will not get the reward for your labor. Whatsoever you're in, you need to be good at it. You need to be sought for. You need to be sought for. Emerson tells us the law of compensation. A corollary of that law states that what you are paid is a function of how difficult it is to do what you do. What you are paid is a correlation with how difficult it is to do what you do or not. Second, it is then the ease or difficulty of replacing you. How easy is it to replace you? Is there something unique about you that is difficult to find someone that can do it the same way that you do it? That determines your pay. That determines your pay, right? It's called the law of compensation, right? So, studies show that performance builds that performance boils down to ability to keep one's emotions in check and act responsibly related to risk, right? That's important and personal for me, right? Uh, if you don't know how to check your emotions, you don't have to regulate yourself, you're going to have problems with performance because you're going to have issues with working with people. And this typically comes up with people who have intelligence. They get to carry the away with their intelligence and think that no other person can do what they can do. Right. So you have to learn to work with people. If you're going to a good percentage of how we succeed has to do with ability to work with people, right? It might not be your cup of tea. You might be an introvert or whatever, but you need to learn. And doesn't mean that you go all out, but at least take one step in that direction, right? Take one step after another. Take one step, get comfortable, take one step, right? Because you need it to make it in life. You need it to be successful in life, right? It's important if you want to be successful in life to do that. Um, it was not as much as what a person knows, but about the person's emotional intelligence, right? High performance is not as much as what you know, but your ability to work with others. That could make a difference for you, right? And that's required for leadership position. You might be held back from being in leadership position if you're not able to control your emotions. More like you need it also for marriage. You must be able to control your emotions, right? Not start beating one another because of your size. All right. And the last slide for chapter 2 here says there are basically two types of talents. A talent that will shout, everybody sees the talent. Oh, the guy's good. Oh, wow, he got good. Oh, you know, and typically such characters that shout out have character flaws, right? They have too much of personality to them. Uh, and that might limit the ability to grow that performance. Their talent shouts out, everybody can see it, but they're probably the same for the next 10 years. You're not growing. All they're doing is keeping the name, keeping the name, keeping the fame. They're not growing to the next level of performance, right? So talent might shout, but there are also those that their talent whispers. It doesn't shout, it only whispers, right? So the talent is internalized, it doesn't look apparent until you put them, into the arena to perform. And that's what similar to what we talk about the level 5 leadership, in the good to great build to last series, right? A level 5 leader, is typically not loud, it works unassumably, as a team. Not that it must be my way and no other way, right? So, and such is what you can build. Those are the ones that typically go on to perform extraordinarily well. Those that are typically shouting and, oh, is it not me? Do you know me? Typically don't go far, right? Oh, all right. I thought we had finished chapter 2, but I see we have two more slides or one more slide after this. So resilience is a key indicator of performance in wide range of professions, right? Resilience means because in life you're going to eat the roadblock several times. Your ability to push back the roadblock is called resilience. You don't give up just because you feel you face an obstacle, you face a challenge, right? Resilience is the is one of the secret traits of greatness. If you're going to be great in life, you must be resilient. You must not always react to everything that you see, everything that you hear. So resilience, it's just the ability to go through past the opposition, to go past the setback, to go past the difficult, restraint, challenge to the thing that you have set your mind or heart to do. That's pretty much just what resilience is, right? And resilience is the signature of greatness. That's what Jim C. Collins tells us, right? Greatness is not a function of circumstance. Greatness, it turns out, is largely a matter of conscious choice and discipline, right? For you to be great, you must have a conscious choice. That means you're not just reacting, you are not just being mesmerized by your feelings, but you are doing what you have thought through and what is best for all, right? So greatness is a function of those three things. Conscious choice, you make the decision to do or not do, and and discipline. Hey, good afternoon. I see two people join online, Dr. Drew and Get Funky. Thanks for stopping by. God bless you. All right, I believe this is last chapter in chapter 2. It says, nothing in the world can take the place of persistence. Nothing in the world can take the place of persistence because persistence is a show of faith. And life is going to test you, whether you have faith or not. Irrespective of where you find yourself in life, life will test you whether you have faith or not. It's also a question, it's just a question in how much do you want that thing that you seek? You see it even in human relationship. You're pursuing the girl. You have to, she probably prove stuff. Your ability to still persist is because you truly want it, you believe in it, and you pay the price to go through, right? But nothing in this world can take the place of persistence. Talent will not take the place of persistence. Yeah, nothing is more common than unsuccessful men with talent. Genius will not take the place of persistence. Unrewarded genius is almost a proverb. Education will not. The world is full of educated derelicts. The slogan "Press on" has solved and always will solve the problem of the human race. So says Calvin Coolidge. Right? If you, no matter where you find yourself, you're going to need to persist on the right step. Key thing is you have to be aligned to the law, to the principles, to the truths. Get yourself aligned with what God will want of you. Right? Then keep on pushing on. Every day reset, push on. Reset every day, push on. Right? And before long, the rock will break. The entrance will be open. So you need persistence in whatsoever you find yourself in, irrespective of how educated you are, how talented you are. You need to persist to do the exercise, persist to do the practice, persist to learn, to grow, to in whatsoever it is that you have set your mind upon. Right? We have 10 more minutes to the hour mark, so I guess we can do chapter 3. Let's see how far we can go. So chapter 3 talks about the fact that you start early or die soon. And that's just to say that the earlier you start, the more time you have to exploit that which you learn. You know, fluency is assumed to be is said to be gotten after about 10,000 hours of practice, right? That's a couple of years, you right? And the earlier you start, the earlier you get to that summit with still more years that you can use to exploit the market with, right? So it's important that the earlier you start, the better. Also, the same principle with compound interest. The earlier you start, right? The front loading, the earlier you start, not necessarily the highest intensity, but you start, the more value you get at the end, right? So only one would devote himself to a cause with his whole strength and soul can be a true master. For this reason, mastery demands all of a person. Whatsoever it is that you want to do and gain mastery in, you must go into it with your heart, with your soul, with your everything. Otherwise, you won't gain mastery in it. Right? To gain mastery means that you're going to go through the tough days, the difficult days, right? You have to go against things that seem like they won't work, things that challenge you, but you're pressing into it because you know that those setbacks really are your training ground, the doors to which you enter to gain the mastery in that particular area, right? So whatsoever it is you want to be a master in, you have to give your all to it. So when we see God, when we see God-given talent, are we not in fact simply seeing people who have consciously or unconsciously trained a hell of a lot at an early age? What we call God-given talent is really someone that was sharpened that talent. The story is given of a farmer who someone saw the farm and appraised him for how neat, cultured, uh, and well landscaped his land was. And he returned and said, and the and the person was, attributing it to God. And he said, I wish you had been here before I cultivated it. He said, God gave the land, God gave the trees. We make something out of it. God gave us a talent. We make something out of it. Right? We make something out of it. There's a part for us to play. God gives us children. We make something out of it by training them in the way they ought to go. Right? So even though we call it God-given talent, it took a lot of practice to get there. So let's not commonize the practice that it takes for us to gain mastery, but let's put in the time, the effort to build mastery, right? So self-training, the practice, self-training, the practice they do on their own is the most effective activity that improves performance in any field. So it's not just what you do in class. If you want to gain mastery and differentiate yourself from a crowd, you need to do a lot of practice on your own just to gain proficiency, right? Just to gain proficiency, just to gain fluency, right? So if you're going to gain mastery, you have to be devoted not just to what's in the class, but your ability to exercise, and exercise what you've been taught, even on your own, right? So self-mastery is the most mental demanding because you are the one dictating the pace for yourself, right? It's just like my exercises here, like I did one this morning, right? It's self, I'm the one in charge of it. I have no trainer. Not that's told a trainers didn't offer themselves, but I guess based on experience, I discovered that my consistency is determined by me doing it on my own, right? And I've succeeded so far, thus far. So high performance is first and foremost a choice that you make, right? Nobody's going to perform at a high level by chance. If you're going to perform at a high level, whatever area you find yourself, you have to make a choice that that is what you want to do. You want to perform at a high level, right? Because there's a price to pay for it. There's a lot of hours of practice. There's pushing past the difficulty, pressing past the difficult times, the dry times when it's like all that you're doing, there's no result, right? You have to pass that time when the results are not there to gain mastery, right? But if you don't make the choice yourself, you will give up, you will settle, right? So high performance is for those that don't settle, that keep pushing, keep practicing. So as long as you're willing to invest what it takes, you have to be willing to invest what it takes. So it's a choice. When we are convinced that we see when we are convinced that we see raw innate talent, we are in reality simply seeing 10,000 hours of training consumed at a very early stage in life. right? So whatever we call we seem to admire is because there's been hours of practice, more like about 10,000 plus hours of practice to get to that place where it is recognized by others. There is a lot to indicate that early training is vital for success. You see that all around. We see the Benner sisters, you know, people, the earlier you train and accumulate that 10,000 hours, the, the, the more fluid and fluent you are at the game, right? So training is not what you do when you've got, excuse me. Training is not what you do when you've got to where you're going. It is what gets you there. You don't wait till, all right, I'll start trading when I win, when I'm a champion, or when I make money. No, you do it. You do it. You do it. It's what gets you there. It's what gets you there. Management is what gets you there. Practice is what gets you there. Applying yourself is what gets you there. Like I gave an example to this season of my life. This month, I have several things. But why I'm able to do it is because I have imbibed the discipline. My discipline is answering for me. My system is answering for me. I have put things aside for the rainy day. The rains are here. Now it's time to use the covering, right? But if I didn't do that, I'll be exposed. I'll be naked, right? So prepare for the rainy day. Start doing it today. Start doing the things you need to do today. Start building your house upon the rock. Don't build your house upon the sand. Build your house upon the rock, right? Because the storm is coming. It's going to test your foundation, right? If something extraordinary is to come out, then something extraordinary must go in. You have to sow to receive. There's an old saying, if you want to take the highland, then burn the boats, right? Meaning that if you totally commit to something, giving yourself no way to go back, you are more likely to succeed, right? If you want something good, you need to put in something good. If you want, the results, then you need to put in the practice. All right. And here's our last slide in chapter 3, probably where we'll stop for today. Practice is the mother of all world-class performance. Practice is the mother of all world-class performance. You're going to perform world-class in any area of your life. You must put in the work to practice. You must put in the work to practice. For me to do this, I have to read the book, read other books, grow myself, develop myself, and that's why I'm able to share in a sense fluently, with you on the book and on the topic and the different ideas, because I am continually developing myself, right? I'm reading, I'm studying, and now what each time I come here is the result of all of that together, right? You need to practice if you want to be high performance in anything. So world-class performance requires that people start practicing at an early age. The study shows that for you to gain fluency in anything, you need to put in about 10,000 hours into it, right? But not all of us have that privilege of starting early. Not all of us have the privilege of having parents that would start us early. So 10,000 hours, 20 years was when you were supposed to have started. But the next best time to start is today, right now. So don't cry over spilled milk that you didn't start 20 years ago. Start where you are right now to begin to build yourself towards your dream, where you want, your vision, right? Set up plans, set up systems that will help you. I will take you home, right? The more complex the skill set you need to master, the earlier you must start, right? Improvement is available for everyone. Everyone can improve by practicing, by learning the thing that you want to do. You're you're going to start, in a funny way. You do it badly at the beginning, but over time, the more you do it, you become better at it. The more you do it, you become better at it. You should have seen when we started farming. But today we're like experts, we're guru. We probably put our pictures, our photos, our videos on Facebook, right? Because we have grown. We have evolved. We're more like becoming gurus in the game right now, right? Even this time here, you should need to have seen when I started. I used to have my voice everywhere, thinking that is my voice that would make it work, right? I was all scattered and not confident of myself. Today, I can do it more fluently, freely, and not be scared of error, you know because I've been doing it for so long. It's become a second nature, and my system, my body is come to a place of rest in it, right? I don't have to be conscious of anything. But that you can do for anything you set yourself in to do, right? It's not gonna work. It's not gonna be perfect the first time. But if you stay at it, you will build perfection. You'll build fluency. You become better. You surprise yourself. Nobody brought it from heaven. I didn't bring coming to do this, present to you from heaven. I became it by practice. I got better by doing it. The more I do it, the better I become. The more I feel comfortable at doing it. And that's it for any area of life you find yourself. You get better by doing, better by doing, better by doing. My job this is my 29th year. I can do a lot of things fluently because I've been doing it for years. It's become second nature, right? Build proficiency in the areas that matter in your life. Do it, do it, do it. You will become better by doing. Thanks for spending this time with me as we go through uh trying to summarize our our book that we'll be reading from the beginning of the year, The Gold Mine Effect, right? So we're going to try and summarize it as we're doing. And then after that, we'll go to our next book, which will be our ninth book in the series, The Confidence Game, right? So went through three chapters today. So let's see how many chapters we go next week. Seems it's looking like we'll be done with this in 2 more weeks. And we'll go on to our fourth book. I'm not gonna come at 2 p.m. next week because I have another meeting I'm setting up from 3 o'clock. So that meeting should be done before 5. So plus minus 5, I will do a shoot next week. So I'm gonna be probably 3 hours late next week Sunday. It won't be the normal 2 p.m. I'll come up 5 because I have a clash. All right. God bless you. Thanks for coming along, Engineer Dre. Thanks for stopping by. Get funky. Thanks for stopping by. God bless you. I hope you gained something from being here. Those are my blog side, YouTube. Thanks for stopping by. And on Instagram Live will be a reel on my page on Instagram Live. Here you'll find it on YouTube, and you'll find it YouTube, Facebook on my blogging site, and feel free to go over it. Feel free to drop your lesson, your questions, contributions, and together we can do life. God bless you. See you. Have a great, fantastic week ahead, and see you next Sunday, God willing. Bye bye.